And the man tells me I'm spinning. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's edition of Metaworld News. This is the edition where we bring you the highlights for the week ending today. Today being the 15th of September.
Hoorah.
Already of 2019.
All right. Excellent.
Yes, yes. I got it right. I got it right. Oh, clever me. Anyway, I don't need to be clever for the next bit. All I need to do is read out stuff that's on my screen. This stuff will be shared to you, courtesy of James Atloud, who's sitting beside me here, operating all our cameras and stuff like that. So do say hello to James.
Oh, hi, everybody.
Hi. And I, by the way, am Mal Burns. Yes, that's Mal and then Burns. But you'll find me on Twitter, somewhat squashed. Yes, if you go to Twitter, you go to twitter.com/Malburns, all one word. It's it's this flaming interwebs, you know. They squash everything.
Spaces are not allowed.
It's called, I've heard the compression, but this is a bit ridiculous. Anyhow, there's a secondary feed, twitter.com/MetaWorldNews, which has also been squashed for your delectation. So, a double squashing at Twitter. If you follow my other Twitter, which is all about destinations and machinima and stuff in Second Life principally, but not exclusively, that one is twitter.com/Malburns underscore writer.
It's as good
Because
as a space.
back in the day it didn't accept spaces, so you had to have an underscore. You can now have a space. So you could say that possibly if you think about it, that account has not been squashed. And oddly enough, it's so packed with stuff. I've just been looking at last week's. It goes under the floor. That is the feed with more posts in it than anywhere else. If anything needs to be compressed, it's that feed, which is now showing all my video likes in double or triple.
Ooh.
But this will be resolved in due course. Meanwhile, I'm returning to twitter.com/Malburns, and we're going to go through some of the highlights from the week and sort of comment on them as we go. I think I've got all the procedural stuff for the beginning out of the way, haven't I,
Yes.
James? I
Mm-hmm.
bet you have forgotten something. Okay.
No, no.
We'll assume we haven't. Okay. So, my first thing of the week. Now, oddly enough, this week, because I was a bit silly loading all my tabs, I'm actually working from the latest one backwards instead of the earliest one forwards. Not that you would ever notice this, would you? And the first one I got up is actually dated August the 22nd, although I actually only posted it. When would it be? Monday, when we found it. It is the site is called builtin.com. That's Builtin. Built in. That's had a squash job done on it too. Assume all my links are squashed unless I tell you otherwise. That's probably the best way to do it. If I'll just mention if we come across an unsquashed one. Yeah, got it? I'm going to regret that.
No.
Right, builtin.com and /edtech/virtuality and education. And if you're looking at the screen now, you can probably see at the top of the post, is virtuality the future of online learning? Well, yeah, probably, as much as it's the future of just about everything. Um, or could be a future of pretty much everything, or part of the future of everything, if you see what I mean. I don't think there's any such thing as the future of online learning. I mean, as soon as virtuality is commonplace, there'll be something else. I don't know, quantum zoomery or something. Right, education is driving the future of VR more than any other industry outside of gaming. Here's why virtuality gets such high marks for tutoring, STEM development, field trips, and distance education. And thereafter, we have an article. There is couple of videos to look at there. Cross-platform VR for enterprise. It's I think that's VR chat or something. It's funny. There's so many platforms now. I
It's
can't
not
actually.
VR chat.
No,
VR
there's
chat
so
has
many
has arms and legs and torsos.
Oh yeah, I thought they were just sunk into the table, but maybe not. Yeah, I've seen that all over the place. There are actually so many environments around these days. It's not easy to identify what's what anymore. What used to be distinctly Second Life could now be Open Simulator and probably a couple of other things too. And what is here in high fidelity could, at a pinch, if you can't see the interface, it could be mistaken for, say, Sciencebase or even Samsung. So go figure. Anyway, as you can see, lots to read there. VR education, virtual tools, they've got the whole works. VR classrooms, that's not a video, that's just a picture, but a lot to read there. Discovery, all sorts of aspects of VR in education. So to repeat, the site you want for that is builtin.com and slash edtech. And this particular post, Future of Online Learning, was posted on August the 22nd. So unless you actually follow my direct link on Twitter, you might actually have to hunt a bit to find that when you get there. Okay, let's kill a tab. There we go. Now, this post, this next one, has got an awful lot of retweets, which it makes me very happy because it proves that people still read my feeds. Gosh golly, who would have dreamt? Who knew? This is at the University of Melbourne, which, for those of you who don't know such things, Melbourne is in Australia. Yeah, it's down under. It's whereas we're approaching winter, they're approaching summer. It's yeah, like really deep down south that one. Okay, aging and avatars. Quite a simple post really. Virtuality, older adults, and social participation. And they talk about health and social interactions and everything else. This is very much a link to a much greater project, by the way. Um, but it gives you the overview here, tells you who's involved with it, and you can click on links to find out more. So there you go. Where are you? Right. Okay. This site is called www.oculus.com. Yes, I
Where could
can't
that
think
be?
where that comes from. The thing I find rather odd about this, maybe I've got it wrong, but Oculus.com on this occasion is OCULUS.com. Now, am I wrong? But doesn't Oculus the headset have two C's or two L's,
Nope.
two or something?
Nope.
No?
Nope. Just one.
Ah, okay. Well, there you go. I'm obliged to give you this. Virtual Hangout, meet up with friends, make new ones in half and half. Available now on Oculus Quest and the Rift platform. Gaming, really. Headset only. The usual stuff here. It's on my list simply because it really obviously does qualify as social world of sorts in making friends, finding new ones, etc., etc. And it's on the old Oculus, which I think gathers what they mean by the Rift platform, and
Mm-hmm.
it's on Oculus Quest, the new one. The only thing I don't think it works on will be the Oculus
Right.
Go,
Yep.
because the Oculus Go doesn't go for everything. If you catch my drift, I think I'll pass on that one. Anyway, you can read about that at oculus.com/blog, and then if you really want to type it all in, that title. Again, follow my link on twitter.com, Malburns, um, which is another way of getting there. Right. Okay. Another. It's nice when you open the blog and there's a convenient picture at the top. Okay. Vivid Vision, curing lazy eye with VR and Leap Motion. This is
Mm.
actually a post on Leap Motion's blog, which is blog.leapmotion.com. Leap motion is leaping through the air, and motion as in falling on the ground after you've done it. Leapmotion. A squash job, once again. Blog leapmotion.com. Um, case example here really is really all it is, but interesting enough, a 5-year journey to become a global medical technology provider. This is a story of somebody called James Blah Blah. No, sorry, Blaha. I don't know where to get these names from. I mean, that is not an avatar. This is the story of James Blaha. As a child, he suffered from something called strabismus. Commonly known as being cross-eyed or wall-eyed. Anyway, I'm not going to go into the amblyopia or lazy eye condition, which is what it is. Suffice to say, a company called Vivid Vision is transforming how eye clinics are treating this, and I think Leap Motion is part of it, though I don't think Leap Motion is particularly, because that is hand detection. But it's basically using VR and similar technology to help with eyesight. Oh, they do use Leap Motion, it says here, for hand tracking, letting players navigate various controls and play 6 different games, presumably using their hands to compensate for what they can't see with their eyes. But it's a mixture. It's to do with treating eyes and using your hands as well. So
Now,
medical,
Blaha is a Czechoslovakian name.
right? Okay, it reminds me of Lord Ha Ha. Was that his name? I think it was somebody in the Second World War. He was a Nazi who pretended to be an English lord, and he called himself Lord Ha Ha. I don't think he actually got the joke he'd made, but
Ah. Mm-hmm.
yeah, he broadcast on the radio during wartime. Lord Ha Ha. Got a laugh, haven't you? Ha
Sure,
ha.
sure.
Sorry about that. Yeah, this is one of those days. No rabbit holes, just bad jokes. Right, okay, back on the site we know all too well here. This is vrscout.com. VR, the letters, and then scout as in Boy Scouts, but all one word. So it's a squash job. Yes, VR Scout, the squashjob.com. News and then the title. Time immersive AR, augmented reality experience that is, shines a spotlight on the rapidly shrinking Amazon rainforest. Now, the Amazon rainforest has been in the news quite a bit recently. Apparently, it loses. This horrified me. I mean, I know how much is lost, sort of, but it just rammed it home to me the other day. Apparently, an area the size of the whole of Great Britain is lost for deforestation every day. Now,
Yeah.
get that. The size of
Stunning.
the whole of Great Britain and every day. Well, on top of it all, as you probably know, a good deal of the Amazon rainforest has also started burning, which means the people deforesting to get cheap wood um, are not going to have any wood to cut down anyway because it's now burning. Um, and no doubt the heat from the burning is starting to melt all sorts of ice at the other end of the extremes. Oh dear, it all connects together. Anyway, so Time Magazine have gone to augmented reality and a lady called Jane Goodall to help expose deforestation in, believe it or not, the same place where the fires are happening, I think, Brazil. And it's very hard to see from this. I haven't seen it for real. I don't know how to do it. But in the background here, where I'm squiggling my mouse, that is like somebody's settee in the real world. And this woody sort of thing is, I guess, there like a coffee table. And the augmented reality components actually sort of make a miniature forest on your desk. And as you move around it or fiddle with it, you get more information and more views and stuff like that. It actually reminds me. I don't want to be flippant about this, but it reminds me as a kid. We're having a train set and arranging the
Mm-hmm.
railway lines, and then sticking down trees and buildings to make it like a little world in
Yeah, I think that's
3D.
fair. Yeah.
We didn't have cameras in those days to strap onto the front of the train engine so you could do a VR in your own whatever. But it reminds me of that a little bit. So I'm sure for kids and stuff, one simple elementary things at the beginning. This stuff is absolutely perfect education, really. So anyway, more pictures there, and oh, there you've got a sort of animated sort of look of the whole. Oh, look at all this. Actually, that I can't tell what's real and what isn't there. Behind the scenes of the Amazon. Right, that's obviously something on the actual website. Probably got sound. Yeah, so all that's from Time Immersive. Now, you can probably find it by going to Time magazine, but this article about it is published at vrscout.com. So that's VRSCOUT.com. And with that, I'm tucking it away to make way for the next thing. Oh, look, just as I'm about to tuck it away, I get a pop up saying, "Are you seeing this?" Yes, I was, and I didn't want to. Right, uploadvr.com, another familiar site. Uploadvr, all one word.com. In other words, another squash job. I did tell you that you can probably assume everything is squashed on
I
this
don't think
program.
spaces are
Unless
allowed yet. So, we can't have spaces in URLs.
uh, yeah, we have to have underscores or
Right, right.
dashes.
Or
Yeah, but
dashes or
even so,
periods. Yeah.
dashes. Yeah, yeah. Oh, it's probably a fair reason for it, but I just have to make a point of saying,
Mm-hmm.
everything I read, it's okay seeing it and know it's done. It's another thing reading it out, looking at it as you're reading it and say, "Ooh," but do bear in mind that's squashed.
Yep.
It could be uploadtodayvr.com. Now, is that 3 words squashed? Or is it 1 word? Or is it 15 words squashed? I don't know, because there's no indicator.
I think
Never
you
mind.
need to fix
Rabbit.
you need to fix the internet, Mal.
Yeah, I know. I was just thinking the rabbit hole was calling.
Yeah. Yep.
So before I fall into it again, I shall quickly bring myself out and move on to the next thing here. Um, As I said, uploadvr.com, hands on with Curious breakthrough wild field of view AR technology. Increasingly, I find myself putting AR stuff in this feed, which is supposed to be VR. The thing is, they are just too well connected. I mean, basically, a lot of AR is actually VR superimposed on the real world. So they're not as separate as you might think. The real difference with AR, of course, is it's seen as a layer on the real world, whereas VR is considered, it might be interacting with the real world, but it's essentially an opaque, world or below the world or somewhere out in space for all I know. Right. This is about a San Francisco-based startup called Cura Technologies. There's a link here to their official website, where if you click on that, and basically, it's all about the technology involved. I do actually like the fact that week after week, I'm actually seeing illustrations, which I think are concept rather than photographs, of that come closer and closer to the sort of thing I'd be willing to wear. you
Oh
know,
yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, this little set here is about the same. It looks to be about the same weight and ease of use as the shades I've been wearing. I've probably only got a couple of weeks left of sun left to wear them in, but um, the only thing different here is it's got cords at the back, which is very useful. I do hate cheap sunglasses that they keep sliding off my nose. I got a rather funny nose. It makes it like a water slide for glasses. And
Hmm.
if they ain't got a hook at the back to keep them around my neck, all sorts of damage can get done. Anyway, those do look very compact and rather usable and stuff. So yeah, got video demos, you name it, they got it. Quite a lot of information about it there too. So you want uploadvr.com and you go to hands-on with Curious Breakthrough Wide Field, Wide Field of View AR technology. That's a handful, isn't it?
Hmm.
Why can't we have 3-word headlines like they used to do? Nobody knows how to write headlines anymore. They just write a couple of sentences and hope for the best. Right. Firefox Reality. Okay. Version 1.4. Yep. 11th of September, barely a couple of days ago. It's now available for users of Vive, or Viveport rather, and Oculus via the Oculus Store. Firefox, as you probably know, is one of the leading web browsers. And Firefox Reality is really simply an interface in virtual reality headsets and stuff for the Firefox browser. Obviously, as you can see from the picture, it's got a different kind of layout. Instead of a home screen with sort of what do we call it? Like 9 tabs in a row or something. They're now spread out. in a sort of semisphere, and you can scroll around from screen to screen and then find things you actually want. To be honest, this remind my only experience really is with the Oculus Go, and I think this is available on the Go. To be honest,
Hmm.
um, but the interface really just resembles the sort of operating system interface of many of these, sort of groups of apps and stuff like that. You get this semi-spherical sort of screen. You move around to where you want. You click, it opens the sub-screen, and it's pretty, apart from the appearance is a bit different, but it's pretty much a similar metaphor to what you do on a 2D desktop, really. I suppose the emphasis is, of course, the quick bookmarks that they give you don't tend to be to flat web pages. They tend to be 3D sites like Mozilla hubs and websites that actually are in themselves a 3D experience.
Yeah, and those all should
So
be they should all be WebGL, I believe, so that they can run on almost all headsets.
yeah,
Yeah.
and in a browser,
Yep.
I
Yep.
guess.
Yep.
Yeah, I've got a feeling that if this browser doesn't work offline on the desktop, at least the sites it points to are probably all the kind of site that would work on the desktop if you wanted to. The
Oh.
experience might be a bit limited, sort of just dragging with a mouse to spin around and stuff. But yeah, it's I quite keen on this stuff. I'm not that keen on the look of it or its usability yet, but it makes my eyes light up because it's all about convergence, and I
Hmm.
think
Hmm.
interoperability and convergence is really a crucial thing. For not the future of VR, but it's been everything, like music technology, and stuff like that. I mean, it all had to converge in the end. The nothing that's a series of 100 million walled gardens is ever going to take off until the walled gardens converge, basically, or at least come to some arrangement that's as good as convergence. And Firefox, at least, does seem to be, you know, um, operating with that in mind.
Hmm.
Okay, so put in other ways, oh yes, sorry, that is a blog.mozvr.com. That's MOZ as in Mozilla and then VR. So blog.mozvr.com. And I'm not going to comment on whether that is squashed or not because you know damn well it is, but
No.
apparently it's not worth mentioning anymore. Right. Okay, now I was moaning earlier on that I had a lot of tabs open here. I'm going to run through these quickly. They hot on the heels of their artist series and some other series they did. Our Voices of VR podcast people have had a week full of just one after the other. They're all part of a series which is to do with neuroscience and VR. Um, so I'm not going to play them or anything like that. You'll just see them here one by one quickly. 816, which I think would be the latest of them, using VR for cognitive assessments after a traumatic brain injury. 815 is music, body sway, and synchrony at the Institute for Music and the Mind. All these at voicesofvr.com, by the way, as if you didn't click on that one. 810, and Mind Maze brain computer interface for neuro rehabilitation with VR. Oh, I can pronounce that after all. Right. Moving on. Here we are, 811. Oh, we're a bit out of order here, but never mind. Experiential medicine for self improvement and the power of neuroplasticity
Yep.
with Adam Ghazali. Why did I ever have this idea of reading out the links like that? Yeah, this is a rather good one. Look at that. She's well, I presume she's having fun. Do you know what's really odd
She's
about that
driving.
picture?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's she's got a brain interface on
Hmm.
and she's driving. So the thing that's really odd about this is she's got an old-fashioned 4x3 monitor,
Hmm.
which seems a bit out of place, doesn't it?
Medical monitor. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. Okay, UCSF Professor Adam Gazelli. I've heard of him in other of his somewhere, whatever. He's a pioneer in the realm of experiential medicine. He's getting a video game approved by the FDA for ADHD treatment.
Hmm.
And Yeah. Um, he's also got a book called The Distracted Mind, Ancient Brains in a High-Tech World. I like the sound of that. I've got an ancient brain,
Oh,
and I'm in a high-tech
you
world. So
are.
and I, James, am I not a distracted mind?
I think that's definitely a possibility.
Oh, I've got to go back this book. It was written about me. I have to get a batch of them and sign them for everybody. Right. Okay. Moving on.
Go,
Moving on.
go.
Voicesvr.com, of course. Right. Number 812. I told you loads of them. Neurable brain computer interface and a telekinetic presence. There's another brain interface. Not so many suction cups on this one, more of a. But it certainly qualifies as a contraption, doesn't it?
Yeah, over the
Yep.
person's hair. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yes, it's yeah. You wouldn't know she had a head if she didn't have long hair. Anyway, sorry about that. Okay, 813. Moving forward again. Do-it-yourself BCI, whatever BCI is, with reinvent and neuro rehabilitation with VR. Similar title to the other one.
Hmm.
Dr. Suk Li, Dr. Suk Lei Liu.
Hmm.
Yeah, Dr. Suk Lei Liu, I think. I'm probably best not thinking really. Leave it to the reading. Yeah. Uh, God, four more still. Five more, I think. Number 814. Using muscles and DMG for neural interfaces with control labs or CTRL labs. And yeah, that's much more agreeable sort of thing to be working. I'll sign up to be tested with that thing on. Going nowhere near my brain. Probably wouldn't
Right.
matter if it did. I don't think I've got a brain left, you know. But anyway, all right. That was 814. Now moving. Oh, going backwards again. 809. Veteran game designer Noah Felstein on embodied gameplay for VR medical apps. More medicine here.
Hmm.
This lady is not driving, and I think she's got a reasonably wide screen, if not a super wide one. Don't know what that is. Could that be a camera? Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah, like a Connect or
she's in
something.
bed. Anyway, she's in bed, so she's being able to do this in bed. But apparently, um, that's the chap who's designing the games. This is really so general, immersive technologies in the medical field. Blah blah blah.
Hmm.
There's less emphasis on a particular product or a particular lab. It's more
The
generalization.
applications.
But
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Right. 808, still on the same theme. A panel discussion, this is more like it. GDC, Game Developers Conference, that is, 2018, on biosensor driven VR development. I mean, different words, but most of the titles of at least three of these podcasts have been meant almost the same thing. But this is actually a panel at the Game Developers Conference.
Come back, Mal. Come back. We've lost audio, Mal. Hmm. Ah, and Mal's disappeared from the virtual world. So uh, I don't think he's gonna come back quickly. So I think we'll stop for the moment and see if he wants to pick up afterwards. Thanks, everybody.